All right. The subject is school. Well, I'd like to change the whole system to bring freedom to the whole world. But in the capitalism thing we have now, what could we possibly do starting out simple? Well, we could make videos. Now, lots of money, we can make them really great, really animated and delightful. But anyways, private school, that's free for all. Internet, right? And then, there's people like watching videos where you get, hey, you got to go somewhere because you got to go to work. So you have a babysitter. Eventually, you just make schools, right? But like whole thing, and the video games to go along with it. Right. The same thing I said at school, like, certain things they're staying with their peers, but they're in a man's book. But they could just like be BSing because they know they already, so they're just like making funny things, right? Because, they're actually in the eighth grade and, they're in like fifth grade, right? Because they advanced through the private school and the video games and stuff. But anyways, the Dane's what you make industry where people can bring their kids to work and dangerous. That's why I want to change the whole system. But in capitalism, there is dangerous places. You have to build a secure foundation within the business, right? Other businesses follow on, but I think kids should be able to allowed to make money and work, and you'll let them go to theme parks that are very dangerous. You'll send them to camps or very dangerous activities, but I can't make money. Right? But what were you thinking? Well, different methods. You think, well, people buying the product, and sell. But like, for example, because I'm wanting to make stores, like just for example, like the pet process, right? But imagine like for yard sales, consignments or whatever, right? You know, and what would be great if you just let kids make money, right? I mean, you still give them education. You could give them the education so much more simpler, all right? Um, is that I'll be able to retire earlier, man, right? Not to worry about money, anyways. You know what I mean? But another thing, 50% of your taxes goes to your schools. Imagine ending school because they can now get it free. And like I said, you plan to have not only me but other people take that their money they make through people watching them and making schools better. I was just thinking this is where people flip out, but like imagine kids, hey, we already know the education, we got that down, we passed the test, and they're in the money making process of making stuff, right? Each kid's making it and they're sending it to their areas, whether they have a store open or not. They can have it like at their house, their apartment, out on the street. And I know certain places permits and stuff, and you have to register and pay taxes, all that good stuff, right? But see how that could flow, right? Flow real nice, right? But anyways, forget the other part now. This target where you half your taxes, that's what people have a problem with tax. You just got half your taxes back if you ended the school the way it is now, right? And it's such a win-win, right? Crazy, right? I mean, it's just like one of those things, and a lot of things like where a community come together. You don't even have to say you're going to pay anybody. What do you mean? Where people something to do with their time, they could take turns. What do you mean? Well, I'll babysit the kids today while they watch and learn, right, and play the video games and everything, right? Yeah. Wherever it might be, what I mean? Someone's house, whatever. See how this will, go down a road where everybody's got more money to do something, man. It's just like fantastic. And like I said, people could watch it. You could dedicate a video being watched, so you could put money in the hands of the babysitter. But moreover, to say like it really isn't babysitting if one of them's actually a parent, right, of one of the kids there, right? There's just more kids. Hey, you got some friends over today while y'all choo choo and blah blah and blah blah blah. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things, right? You're playing the yeah, man. The programming of all this, man, right? Yeah, and that's my target, and we could do this through money, right? You know what I mean? Change the whole school system, man. That's one of the things. One another thing is something you got to fight for freedom for kids to work, but making industry, and there's just a different, but like, it's like a thing that'll happen more focused on the freedom of the school type thing there, man, which does give kids freedom to invent, right? They can just be part of the curriculum if they want to take it, right? Or something like that. What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Making stuff, making their own ideas, right? They came up with something, they want it made, right? People like to buy it, right? Yeah, stuff like that. Now, I don't know why people are so afraid for kids to make money because they really, you can cut a yard, right? But you can't have a legit job, right? Like, what? Yeah. You can go be an actor, right? You know what I mean? But you can't have a job. That's like, what? You know? You can go get on a dangerous roller coaster. What? Hey, mom, dad can send you to a camp where you're in rowboats and climbing mountains and in the woods with dangerous animals and shooting bow and arrows and stuff, right? You can't have a job, right? What? You know what I mean? Like, something's wrong here, right? You know, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Decisions, not forced, man. There's the difference, you know? Yeah. Our kid decides to work, man. And it's not about, it is that bad, but like, it isn't about them having to go work to add money to the family. It's about them, their independence, their personal freedom, right? Instead of being like a slave, they're treated like a prisoner, and all they did was be born, right? Yeah, y'all made me, and this is the way you're going to treat me, like nothing. How I feel about anything and what I can do, I'm not even allowed to do. And moreover, because of others, I understand it. Like, well, a lot of your peers are not capable. Well, what's that got to do with me? How's that work when you get a certain age? Hey, you can do this, they still can't do that, right? Well, I mean, so since I'm young, I must be punished, right? Like, what? Anyways, money, we can combat that. Well, I mean, it's better freedoms right there. What do you mean? And people have one thing they can advocate things at their workplace. And like I said, I want to start workplaces. It already be there. You can take your kids to work. We can have a room for them to have to go to school in, right? What I mean, there's no money being spent, on a teacher, right? It's computer games and a screen. The teacher, one of the best things, besides all the great things that I talk about, making them interested in getting it, is like, what teachers would you go use, man? If possible, like the great teachers, like the teachers, like all the kids love, not some. Like every kid loved that teacher. Every kid, it's proven. There's records. Every kid got a great grade, and it wasn't manipulated, right? You know what I mean? It wasn't falsified. Teacher really captured them. Imagine that being like, hey, damn, I should be the teacher that teaches all kids, and we got the technology to do that. And we're actually wasting money paying someone that's not going to teach the kids good, and they're not happy. I'm not taking down the industry, man. I would kill public school and college right out the rip. Just kill college, right? Well, no one's got to babysit college kids, right? I mean, you know what I mean. When college is just a thing you could do on the side, right? Yeah, have that degree sometime, right? Depending on your situation, you focus all your time to it, but it's free, right? Hey, make the money roll in, man. Watch my YouTube channel. The same thing with the elementary, man. Middle school, high school, right? Community working together on it, right? Imagine people are going to say, "Why are we paying if school don't exist anymore? We really have to pay 50% of our tax dollars for a school that doesn't exist." Money back in your pocket. People like to tax money back. See, I don't like the capitalism tax system, but people do like to cut in taxes. See how that works really good, right? Because as know, there's a lot of community, man. What do you mean? You know, people have days off. People don't work. Stuff like that. Like, well, to watch the kids, right? And another added feature. What do you mean? People do have older siblings. What do you mean? We're good, man. Let's do it. Let's learn this shit. Right? Kind of all work out on the freedom, and other people do their. I know what I've been doing, right? That stuff depends on location, right? But hey, that's what it is. But only get two people watching. I don't think people are about changing the world here. Right? What it comes down to. Yeah, so the people like being treated bad. Kids like being owned and treated bad, and having no freedom. The way I take it, people like treating their kids bad, right? They've heard me speak. They one thing to say, this is one way. Here's another way. We could do it today. And you're not there, wasting your time watching TikTok. Jesus Christ. You know, yeah, well, it's over for me, man. I don't have to worry about it, man. The one thing, what you mean, I would like to get married and have kids, even though how much I hate this world. I'm not going to the way it exists now. There's no way I'd raise my kid in a mandatory school system, man. Well, you say still, they need to have freedom of it and have a better way of doing it, right? Well, as anything like me, man, like they, I don't need to devote 5 days a week to it, right? I get it, right? There it is. It's be, it's like a little pamphlet. Be such easily taught, right? We don't understand. Oh, it's meant to be taught wrong, man. Right? When it could be just taught correct. Well, I've been there. What do you mean? I went to a private school. They had pamphlets, right? And there was a little too much conjecture in there. But like, especially like when it came to the math, just a sentence, right? Maybe sometimes a couple, but not all this. Don't get you nowhere. One sentence, right? Never did this kind of math in your life. It's, oh my God, it's the hard math, right? One little sentence and knew how to do it. Right? No teacher explaining anything to you. You just have your pamphlet that's this thick, all right? All right. And you have like 10 of those, right, for each subject through the year, right? And you could just do it. And I can see from doing that myself, it could be even a simpler version of getting it. Right? I'm saying like a thin pamphlet for the whole damn year. But that was just an example, like the hardship that everybody's got to go through, and they already have these pamphlets. What do you mean? That they don't present in the public school? That's just, more right on than what they're doing? Right? And imagine how much would be better if you had good conjecture from a teacher to go along with it, because there wasn't none. Right? We just had the pamphlets sit there, different grades, sitting in the same room together, like fucking Walton's Mountain or something shit. Right? Hey, you know how to read, don't you? It tells you how to do it. Do it. Yeah. It sucks being locked up. What was bad about that, man? Well, they kept on setting boys beside me and would start crap with me. All right? That's not a good experience. Yeah, there was lots of fights there with me, man. Why? Because they were older. That's one thing. I didn't beat those kids up in the classroom that I was with. Even though it's the same age, is way bigger than it. But these people are older and shot you. Come on! You ain't gonna talk to me like that!